Continue now with our lead story, the culture war in America between traditional folks and secular progressives. We are seeing it play out every Christmas season. Joining us from Washington, Republican Kate Obenshain. And here in the studio, Democrat Kirsten Powers, also Fox News analyst. Dressed in her Christmas finest.
Happy
you
holidays.
did that just for that. Happy holidays. See, now you're one of these folks. You really want to secularize this whole thing, don't you?
Do I want to say happy holidays to people who don't celebrate Christmas? Sure.
Oh, that's
Why not?
appropriate.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with
and
that.
I think that, but do I think that a school should be harassed into not singing Christmas carols? No, I think it is an important part of our culture.
Okay, so
heritage.
why do you think it's happening then? We mentioned three groups on Monday: the ACLU, the atheist group in Wisconsin, and the secular humanists, or whatever they are. I don't know what they are.
Well, two of those groups are not really serious groups. They're not very powerful, right? I mean, I've never really heard of them.
Well, they raise money and they do intimidate crews.
Well,
but let's put that aside,
okay.
the power or not. Why do they do it?
I think they obviously are. I mean, okay, let's just try to be fair to them and say maybe they're doing it because they really think there should be a separation of church and state. They're misguided. This is not about a separation of church and state.
You don't think there's anything deeper than that?
Well, I think there probably is something deeper because there's something very mean-spirited about it. Because I think that these people are really into multiculturalism, right?
Yes,
if it was some African holiday, they probably wouldn't have a problem with it.
Okay, so good. I'm glad you're being reasonable.
So why
on
are
this.
why are they attacking something that's a very important part of our cultural history?
So Jon Stewart has emerged as the voice of them. All right, and you know, no. His basic tenet is there is no war on Christmas. O'Reilly just makes it up, and he's been doing this for years. Every time I do it, he does it. Why does he do it? Is it just ratings, or is it something else?
Because there is no war on Christmas, Bill, and I've disagreed with you on this before. This is a couple fringe groups. The ACLU isn't really doing very much on this. In fact, they
got their butt kicked, and they had to come back.
They often defend Christians. They often defend.
All right, not in Christmas.
Yes, they do.
So you don't see it as a major problem.
I don't see it as a war on Christmas.
I think Kate disagrees.
A couple fringe groups.
All right, let her get in. Let Kate get in.
I do disagree. I think all of us know, all across America, people know examples where schools don't have Christmas trees, where their kids want to sing Silent Night. They're not allowed to sing it anymore because these groups are going after these schools in smaller school divisions, threatening to sue them, even though they're losing lawsuits right and left. But there is something behind all of this. There is an attack on this notion, anything that involves faith. There seems to be this misconception out there among these groups that we are an atheist nation, that somehow any reference to faith is a violation of their constitutional rights. It's an embracing of this moral relativism, but everything that you just listed, Bill, that's what this is all about.
All right,
it's
so
about
you're
going
agreeing
after
with me.
I actually do tonight.
Right, and I must
agree
point
with you
out that Kate a lot of times does not agree with me.
That's true.
But you're seeing what I'm seeing. Now, if you're smart, and I'm kind of smart sometimes, if we're both agreeing, why don't you see what we see? How come you don't see it?
Because I just don't think there's some all-out war.
Well, it's not about an all-out war, but if the ACLU had not lost in every single case, you're telling me you don't think there would have been an avalanche of these things?
These are outlier situations, and that most Americans, and look, you have a couple groups these groups are extremist, I think, but most Americans, I think,
let me challenge you. Remember a few
way.
years ago, you've been around for a long time, right? You look young, but you've been around for a long time. Remember when a bunch of department stores ordered their employees not to say Merry Christmas? Do you remember?
I remember you talking about it, yes.
Are you doubting that they did that? We provided
yes, you remember,
proof that
you're
they
talking
did
about
it.
Like this was some major historical event.
We had just landed. Okay, so there was about, I think it was 5 years ago, all right, orders from major American department stores to their employees, don't you dare say Merry Christmas. Now, that had to be rescinded because we, at the Factor, named the stores. And people said, we're not going to shop there. So the stores caved, and now we don't know of anybody, and if there is a store out there that's doing that, please let me know, who does it. Now, if I hadn't done that, or we hadn't confronted it, don't you understand that Merry Christmas would be almost obsolete in the commercial enterprises?
I don't care if Merry Christmas is obsolete.
Oh!
I'm
You don't care.
I'm a Christian, and I don't think that this has anything to do with Christianity. This is ridiculous.
So you don't care.
Merry Christmas?
Yeah, I like Merry Christmas. I don't want it banned.
Christmas trees are not in the Bible. I mean, this is not about Christianity.
I don't want them banned.
Okay, let's just be honest about this. This is not an attack on faith. I mean, that's ridiculous. This is not. This is not about attacking Christians.
It's a diminishment of not faith, but it's a diminishment of an expression of it.
But there are other people in this country who do not celebrate Christmas.
And that's fine. We don't problem with them.
Happy holidays. What about people who
I say happy holidays to my atheists and Jewish friends.
Okay.
All right. I say happy holidays because it's a different holiday. It doesn't upset me. It doesn't. What upset me, and I said this quite clearly. Wait, Kate, I'm going to give you the last minute and a half.
Great.
What upsets me, I said that quite clearly, and you should have been picked it up, is I don't care whether you say happy holidays. I care whether these groups are forcing people that say Merry Christmas not to. All right, Kate, you get the last 90 seconds. Go.
It's an attack on the very essence of what our country is about, our Judeo-Christian values. The fact that kids can't sing, they can't say Merry Christmas, they're not allowed to sing Christmas carols. This is not some small thing. Kirsten mentioned multiculturalism and how great that is. Well, this is a product of supposed multiculturalism where Christianity is demonized. Our Judeo-Christian values of wanting traditional marriage, of also all the things that Bill mentioned. This is an attack on those values, even on our college campuses. Look, this is not about open-mindedness or tolerance. On college campuses, there are now these things called free speech zones. You can say whatever you want in those free speech zones, but in the place that's supposed to foster free and open exchange of ideas, if you say something that is offensive to anybody, you get shipped off to mandatory sensitivity training. Christianity is seen as offensive to a lot of people because of these groups saying it's small-minded. It's not. It's the essence of. It's because, Kirsten, the point is that we believe our country was founded on the notion that our rights come from God, not from the government. This is an attack on that very notion.
I gotta go.
I gotta go. If you are concerned about Christianity, there are a lot better ways to express Christianity than just
good lively debate.
Holidays.
Good
it's
lively
a beautiful
debate.
way.
Ladies, I have to go. This is only an hour program. This isn't a Jerry Lewis telethon. I want to point out our pal Bob Dylan got charged in France with hate speech for some kind of thing he said about the Balkans. All right,